All right, let's plunge into a world hidden beneath our feet, shrouded in darkness, caves and caverns. You sent in that excerpt pasted text. And, well, it's all about these mysterious underground formations. So we're going on a deep dive into how these subterranean labyrinths are they created, what makes them so unique, and what secrets do they hold.
It's incredible how something so seemingly simple like water can carve out these intricate, often massive spaces underground. It really highlights the power of geological processes over time.
I am so ready to have my mind blown by this. Okay, so to start things off, the excerpt talks about the difference between a cave and a cavern. Is it just about size?
Well, you can think of it like this. A cave is like, that cozy little reading nook in your house,
Yeah.
a natural void big enough for a human to enter. But a cavern, now that's like stepping into a grand cathedral, a massive complex of interconnected passages and chambers.
Okay.
While the terms are often used interchangeably,
Sure.
the scale and complexity of caverns, that's what really sets them apart.
Okay, I'm already picturing those epic photos you see, of people dwarfed by these enormous cave chambers. But how does nature create such spaces? The excerpt mentions a few key processes.
Right, yeah. So it's not just one process, but a combination of forces working together over incredibly long periods. The first artist at work is solution, a kind of slow, meticulous etching by water.
Okay.
Rainwater absorbs carbon dioxide as it falls and percolates through the ground, becoming slightly acidic. And this acidic water then reacts with certain types of rock, like limestone, dissolving them bit by bit.
So it's like nature's version of like a slow, meticulous etching process.
Exactly. And over thousands, even millions of years, this acidic water widens cracks and fractures in the rock, eventually forming passages and chambers.
Wow, that makes sense. But the excerpt also mentions erosion. What role does that play?
Right. So erosion is where the water goes from being a patient sculptor to a powerful force. Think of underground rivers and streams carving out the cave walls, floors, and ceilings.
Hmm.
And if that water is carrying sediment, it acts like sandpaper, grinding away at the rock in a process called abrasion.
So we have the chemical weathering from the acidic water and then the physical force of water and sediment carving things out. It's like a dynamic duo of geological forces at play.
Precisely. And then there's a more dramatic process that comes into play, collapse. Over time, sections of a cave ceiling can become unstable and gravity takes over. Boom. The collapse creates a large chamber or modifies existing passages. Imagine the sound, the sudden shift in the cave environment.
Oh, wow. Talk about an instant renovation. But isn't tectonic activity also involved in creating these underground spaces?
Absolutely. Earthquakes and the shifting of the Earth's crust, they can create fractures and faults, providing pathways for water to begin its work. It's like the Earth cracking open a door for cave formation to begin.
So you have this interplay of solution, erosion, collapse, sometimes even tectonic forces, all shaping these hidden worlds. It's amazing to think about the immense scales of time and power involved.
Really is. And it leads perfectly to the next fascinating aspect of the excerpt, the different types of caves that exist.
Okay, let's dive into that. I know we've touched upon solutional caves, but the excerpt also mentions lava tubes. Those sound incredibly intriguing.
So picture this, molten lava flowing beneath the Earth's surface. As the outer layer cools and hardens, it forms a crust, while the lava inside keeps flowing. Eventually, that lava drains away, leaving behind a hollow tunnel, a lava tube.
You've really sparked my curiosity about lava tubes. What would you say is the most awe-inspiring feature of these formations?
Oh, it's difficult to choose just one. But exploring a lava tube, it's like walking through a natural tunnel frozen in time. You can often see flow lines in the rock, evidence of the molten lava that once surged through. Some lava tubes even have formations created by dripping lava, similar to stalactites and stalagmites, but made of hardened lava instead of the minerals. They're truly unique environments.
Wow. Now that's something I'd love to see in person. Are there any other types of caves that we should know about?
But we also have sea caves, carved out by the relentless power of ocean waves. These are often found along dramatic coastlines, creating hidden grottos and breathtaking archways. Then there are glacial caves, sculpted by meltwater within or under glaciers. They're like ephemeral ice palaces, appearing and disappearing with the seasons. And we can't forget about tectonic caves, those voids created by the shifting of the Earth's crust.
So it's not just water dissolving rock, it's molten lava, the power of the ocean, even the movement of continents, all contributing to the creation of these diverse subterranean landscapes.
Exactly. And each type of cave offers a unique glimpse into the powerful forces that shape our planet. It's a reminder that the Earth is constantly changing, even beneath our feet.
That's a fantastic way to put it. But what about the inside of these caves? The excerpt mentions all sorts of stunning features found within them.
Ah, yes. This is where things get really interesting. Caves aren't just empty spaces. They're adorned with an incredible array of formations, sculpted over eons by water and minerals. And perhaps the most iconic of these are stalactites and stalagmites.
Okay, this is where I always need a little reminder which one hangs down and which one grows up.
Think of it this way. Stalactites hold tight to the ceiling. They hang down like icicles, formed by dripping water-depositing minerals, usually calcium carbonate.
Okay.
Stalagmites, on the other hand, might reach the ceiling someday, but for now they grow up from the cave floor as dripping water deposits its mineral load.
Perfect. Stalactites cling tight and stalagmites might reach the ceiling. Got it. And what happens when these two meet in the middle?
Then you get a spectacular column. It's this majestic pillar formed over centuries as a stalactite and stalagmite grow together, connecting ceiling to floor. It's like a mineral handshake across time, a testament to the persistence of geological processes.
I can just imagine the grandeur of these formations. The excerpt also mentions flowstone. What exactly is that?
Yeah, so flowstone is like nature's wallpaper, you know, sheet-like deposits of minerals created by water flowing over cave surfaces. Imagine thin sheets of calcite cascading down a wall or coating a floor like a frozen waterfall.
It sounds beautiful. And there are also draperies, right? Those formations that look like curtains.
Yes, draperies are these thin, wavy formations that hang from the ceiling, often resembling curtains or flowing fabric. They can be incredibly delicate and translucent, creating a sense of ethereal beauty. It's amazing how water and minerals can create such intricate and delicate structures.
It really is. And are there any formations that actually seem to defy gravity?
You think of helictites. These twisting, branching formations appear to grow in every direction as if gravity has no hold on them. Scientists believe they're formed by capillary action and evaporation, but their complex shapes are still not fully understood. They're like nature's abstract sculptures, full of twists and turns.
Oh, I love that nature's abstract sculptures. And then there are those fascinating cave pearls mentioned in the excerpt.
Right. Cave pearls are formed when water drips onto small grains of sand or rock. Over time, layers of minerals build up around these grains, creating smooth, spherical formations.
So they're like nature's marbles polished over time by the constant drip of mineral-rich water.
Exactly. And we can't forget about the cave pools and lakes mentioned in the excerpt. These bodies of water, sometimes vast and sometimes small, create a whole other dimension within cave systems.
It's fascinating to think about these hidden bodies of water, perhaps teeming with life that has adapted to this unique environment.
You're right, that's a perfect segue into the next fascinating aspect of caves,
Yeah.
the unique ecosystems they often harbor.
Okay, let's dive into that world. I'm ready to hear about the creatures that call these subterranean realms home.
And welcome back to our exploration of caves and caverns.
Oh, I'm ready to delve deeper into these hidden worlds. Last time we talked about how these underground environments form and the incredible variety of formations that they contain, but the excerpt hints at something even more fascinating, those unique ecosystems found within caves.
It's amazing to consider that life not only exists in these seemingly harsh environments, but has actually thrived and evolved in remarkable ways.
Yeah.
We're talking about creatures that have adapted to perpetual darkness, limited food sources, and a world defined by sound, touch, and smell rather than sight.
It really challenges our perception of what life needs to survive, doesn't it? So what kind of adaptations are we talking about? What makes these cave dwellers so unique?
Well, think about a world without sunlight. Many cave-dwelling organisms, known as troglobites, have lost their pigmentation entirely. They're often pale or even translucent. And in many cases, their eyes have become reduced or even disappeared altogether.
So instead of relying on sight, they've developed other senses to navigate and survive.
Exactly. Their senses of touch, smell, and even vibration are heightened, allowing them to detect prey, navigate their surroundings, and communicate in the darkness.
Wow.
Some cavefish, for example, have developed sensory organs along their bodies that are incredibly sensitive to changes in water pressure, helping them detect movement in their environment.
It's incredible how life finds a way to adapt, even in the absence of something as fundamental as sunlight. The excerpt also mentions that caves serve as windows into the past, not just in terms of geological history, but also human history.
That's right. Caves have sheltered humans throughout history, providing protection from the elements and even predators.
Right.
And as a result, they become repositories of human stories, preserving evidence of past cultures and lifeways.
So we're talking about archaeological treasures, like tools, artifacts, and even art hidden away in these underground shelters.
Precisely. Think about the cave paintings found in places like Lascaux in France, or the ancient human remains discovered in caves throughout the world.
Right.
These findings offer us glimpses into the lives, beliefs, and artistic expressions of our ancestors, helping us piece together the story of human history.
It's like stepping back in time, imagining those who came before us, seeking shelter, creating art, and leaving behind traces of their existence in these caves. But but the excerpt also mentions that caves themselves are like geological archives.
They are, in a way, natural time capsules.
Okay.
Cave formations, especially stalactites and stalagmites, grow layer by layer over time, trapping tiny bubbles of air and water that reflect the conditions when they were formed.
Mhm.
By analyzing these trapped elements, scientists can reconstruct past climates, rainfall patterns, and even atmospheric composition going back hundreds of thousands of years.
So those formations are not just visually stunning, they're like ancient weather reports holding clues to Earth's past climates.
Exactly. They can tell us about periods of drought, intense rainfall, and even volcanic eruptions. It's a fascinating way to piece together the history of our planet layer by layer.
It's like reading a history book written in stone and minerals. And speaking of history, the excerpt mentions something else that really captures the imagination: undiscovered passages and chambers.
That's one of the most alluring aspects of
Yeah,
caves.
yeah.
Even with modern technology, there are still vast cave systems that remain largely unmapped and unexplored. There's always the potential for discovering new passages, hidden chambers, and who knows what else lurking in the darkness.
It's like a reminder that there are still frontiers left to explore right here on Earth, beneath our feet.
Exactly.
But exploring these hidden realms comes with its own set of challenges and considerations, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Cave exploration, or spelunking as it's often called, requires a healthy dose of respect, preparation, and caution.
Why?
It can be physically demanding, requiring strength, agility, and a tolerance for tight spaces and darkness.
So it's not just a leisurely stroll through underground scenery.
Right.
What kind of preparation is essential for safe and responsible exploration?
The golden rule is to never explore a cave alone. Always go with a group, and make sure someone knows your plans and expected return time.
Okay.
Proper gear is also essential: helmets, headlamps, sturdy footwear, and clothing that can handle damp and sometimes chilly conditions.
And of course, respecting the cave environment is paramount.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful of the delicate balance of life within caves.
Right.
Avoid touching formations, stay on marked trails, and never disturb any wildlife you might encounter.
So it's about being a respectful guest in these ancient and fragile environments. But beyond the practical considerations, what about the allure of cave exploration? What draws people to these dark, sometimes challenging spaces?
I think it's a combination of things. There's the thrill of discovery, the possibility of seeing something that no human has ever seen before.
Yeah.
There's the sense of adventure, pushing your own limits, and venturing into the unknown. And for many people, there's also a sense of wonder, of being surrounded by the raw beauty and power of nature in its most primal form.
It's like stepping outside of time into a world that operates on a different scale, untouched by the hustle and bustle of our everyday lives.
You've captured it perfectly. There's a certain stillness, a sense of serenity that you find in caves that's hard to find anywhere else.
And that sense of wonder is probably what drives the ongoing scientific exploration of caves, isn't it? What are some of the cutting-edge technologies and techniques being used to unlock the secrets of these subterranean realms?
Technology is revolutionizing the way we explore and study caves. We now have 3D laser scanning, which allows us to create incredibly detailed models of cave systems.
Oh, wow.
This helps us map passageways, analyze formations, and even study airflow patterns in ways that were never possible before.
It's like having X-ray vision for caves.
Yeah.
What other cool tech is being used?
Another exciting development is the use of remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs. These underwater robots can explore submerged cave passages that are too dangerous or inaccessible for humans, expanding our understanding of these hidden aquatic realms.
So it's like sending robotic explorers into the abyss, uncovering secrets that would otherwise remain hidden.
Exactly. And the data collected by these robots can then be used to create 3D maps, study water chemistry, and even identify new species.
Wow, it's incredible how technology is expanding our reach into these challenging environments. What about the role of citizen scientists in cave exploration?
Citizen science is playing an increasingly important role in cave research and conservation.
Okay.
Many caving clubs and organizations involve amateur enthusiasts in data collection, mapping projects, and even the discovery of new caves.
So it's a field where passionate amateurs can make real contributions to scientific knowledge.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the most exciting things about cave exploration. It's a field where collaboration, a thirst for knowledge, and a sense of adventure can lead to incredible discoveries.
It's a reminder that there's still so much to learn about the world beneath our feet, and that anyone with curiosity and a sense of adventure can be a part of it. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I have to ask, what are some of the most mind-blowing discoveries that have been made in caves in recent years? The excerpt mentions a few that really pique my curiosity.
There have been so many. One that stands out is the discovery of Homo naledi, a previously unknown species of hominin, in a cave system in South Africa. This finding has challenged our understanding of human evolution and raised fascinating questions about our ancient ancestors.
It's like a reminder that there are still pieces of the human puzzle waiting to be found hidden away in these underground chambers. What other discoveries have you found particularly fascinating?
The discovery of cave art in Indonesia that dates back nearly 44,000 years is another game changer.
Wow.
This art, including hand stencils and depictions of animals, suggests that symbolic thought and artistic expression emerged much earlier in human history than previously believed. It's a window into the minds of our early ancestors, a testament to the enduring power of human creativity.
It's like a bridge across millennia, connecting us to those who came before us through their art. And the excerpt also touches on the ongoing exploration of underwater caves. What are some of the highlights of those discoveries?
Underwater caves are like portals to another world, a world of darkness, silence, and often extreme conditions. And yet, life finds a way to thrive there.
Wow.
We're talking about creatures that have adapted to life in complete darkness, high pressure, and often with limited oxygen.
Right.
Some of these creatures are so unique that they defy classification, pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible for life on Earth.
It really is like exploring an alien planet, right here on our own world. These discoveries underscore just how much there is still to learn about caves and the secrets they hold.
Exactly. And in the next part of our deep dive, we'll delve into some of the ethical and environmental considerations surrounding cave exploration, the balance between tourism and conservation, and what the future holds for these fascinating and fragile environments.
Sounds like a perfect way to wrap up our subterranean journey. I'm looking forward to diving into those important questions. And welcome back to our final exploration of the captivating world of caves and caverns.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? Exploring the formation, features, and ecosystems of these hidden realms.
It really has. But as we delve deeper into the subject, it's important to consider the ethical and environmental aspects surrounding cave exploration and conservation.
You're right, these are crucial conversations to have as we learn more about these fragile environments. The very act of exploring a cave can have an impact, even if we're trying to be careful.
So what are some of the key ethical considerations we should be aware of when exploring caves? The excerpt touches on a few points that I found really thought-provoking.
Well, one of the most important is minimizing our impact on these delicate ecosystems. They're incredibly sensitive to human disturbance. Even seemingly small actions like touching formations or leaving behind trash, can have long-lasting consequences.
It's like the saying, take only pictures, leave only footprints, but in this case, we need to be even more mindful, right?
Exactly. Those formations we've been discussing, they've taken thousands, even millions of years to form. The oils from our skin can damage them, and even our breath can alter the delicate balance of the cave environment. We need to approach caves with a deep respect for the timescales involved in their creation and the fragility of their ecosystems.
So it's about recognizing that we're guests in these ancient and often fragile spaces.
Right.
What about the cultural and historical significance of caves? The excerpt mentioned that some caves hold special meaning for indigenous communities.
That's a crucial aspect of responsible cave exploration. Many caves, they hold archaeological treasures, serving as windows into the past, or have spiritual significance to indigenous people. We need to approach these sites with sensitivity and respect, obtaining any necessary permissions from local communities and ensuring that our actions don't harm or disrespect these important places.
It's about recognizing that our exploration shouldn't come at the cost of erasing or damaging the history and cultural connections that exist in these spaces.
Precisely. It's about striking a balance between, our desire to explore and learn and our responsibility to protect and preserve. And this brings us, you've hit the nail on the head. It's about finding that sweet spot, that sustainable approach where tourism can coexist with conservation. It might involve limiting the number of visitors allowed in a cave at any given time, creating designated trails to minimize impact, and educating visitors about the importance of responsible behavior.
So it's about making sure that our desire to experience these wonders doesn't end up diminishing them for future generations.
Exactly. And this ties into the larger issue of climate change, which poses a significant threat to caves around the world.
Right.
Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns, they can alter the delicate balance of water flow in cave systems, impacting formations, ecosystems, and even the structural integrity of caves.
So even these underground environments, seemingly hidden away from the surface world, are vulnerable to the impacts of a changing climate. What are researchers doing to address these challenges?
Well, scientists are working to understand how climate change is affecting cave environments, from monitoring changes in temperature and water chemistry to studying the impacts on cave-dwelling organisms. The goal is to develop strategies for mitigating these impacts and protecting vulnerable cave systems.
It's a reminder that conservation efforts need to encompass not just the surface world, but also these hidden realms beneath our feet. But shifting gears a bit, the excerpt also hints at some exciting possibilities for the future of cave exploration.
Right.
What advancements are you most excited about?
Technology is rapidly changing the way we explore and study caves. We've talked about 3D laser scanning and ROVs, but those are just the beginning. Artificial intelligence is being used to analyze cave data, helping us identify patterns and insights that we might miss with the human eye alone. And new imaging techniques are allowing us to visualize the inside of caves without even physically entering them,
Wow.
reducing our impact and opening up new possibilities for exploration.
It's like we're developing superpowers to see into these hidden worlds. But technology aside, what about the human element of exploration? What role will future generations play in uncovering the secrets of caves?
I think the future of cave exploration lies in collaboration. We need cavers, biologists, geologists, archaeologists, even artists, all working together, sharing their knowledge and expertise. It's about bringing diverse perspectives to bear on the mysteries that caves hold.
It's about recognizing that the more we learn about these environments, the more we realize how interconnected they are with the surface world and with our own understanding of life on Earth.
Exactly. And I think there's also a growing recognition of the importance of education and outreach. We need to inspire the next generation of cave explorers and conservationists, sharing the wonder of these places and instilling a sense of responsibility for their protection.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to ponder? What's the one thing you hope they'll remember about caves and caverns?
I think the most important thing to remember is that caves are not just empty spaces beneath the earth. They're vibrant ecosystems, repositories of history, and sources of wonder and inspiration. They challenge our understanding of life, offer glimpses into the past, and remind us of the interconnectedness of our planet.
It's a powerful message and one that resonates deeply with me. Caves are places of mystery, beauty, and scientific importance, and they deserve our respect and protection.
I couldn't agree more. And if I can leave our listeners with one final thought, it would be this. If you ever have the opportunity to experience a cave firsthand, do it. Step into that darkness, feel the coolness of the air, and let the silence and the grandeur of these spaces wash over you. You might just discover a whole new world waiting to be explored.
Oh, beautifully said. And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the world of caves and caverns. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those adventurous spirits alive.